Back. Welcome back to Mik'd Up. Sorry about the delay.
Lots going on.
We got a lot of crises going on, but we're back. We're here. If the stream goes out, if the internet goes out, I'm sorry ahead of time. We're going to keep rolling like we're still doing a live show. Worst case scenario, we'll post it up on the YouTube channel, and you're going to have to go and watch it like most of the people watch it and not live. Sorry about it, but we're going to grind through
Sorry
it.
about it.
Sorry about it. We're doing the best we can. We fixed some issues. We're going to have some issues, but hey, you know what? That's life. You move on. You figure it out. Today is Monday, March 7th, 2022. Got a lot to talk about, boys. We got a big weekend. We had a bunch of LSU sports going on. LSU Tigers did not look like we anticipated them to look this weekend in Houston. Basketball had a big win on Saturday night. Pulled it out, survived from Alabama. I think that's going to be a big win. I think they have 6 quad one wins. We're going to get into that. Talk a little bit about the NFL. The Combine was hot. Finished up last night. A lot of guys put up a lot of insane numbers. Jordan Davis is a freak of nature. He's an alien. Damone Clark put on a good showing. TDP had a sub 4.5 40. Lost some weight. I think that surprised everyone. Cade York threw up 12 on the bench press. He just did that just for shits and gigs, I think. He literally got on the bench press as a kicker and said, I'm not doing anything but showing you that I can fucking throw up 12 reps of 225. So, got a lot. We had a video call scheduled with all the internet issues and stuff going on. I don't know if we're going to have that today. We're going to try to move it to Wednesday. It's Logan Morrison, one of my old teammates, 10-year MLB vet, has a lot to say. He was a big Twitter sphere guy before Twitter was huge. Get into that, talk about how social media and baseball, all that's evolved. But we're going to have that probably on Wednesday. The Pels are hot. Hot. Can't lose. I know they lost last night, but they are hot, and it's fun to watch. Zion miraculously feels better.
He's coming back, baby.
He's coming back.
He's
coming back. It's amazing. It's amazing.
We got him back in the building, baby.
It's amazing what some wins will do.
4 wins.
With some energy in the organization can do and bring back your top guy. He's back. He's showing up at the airport. He's taking pictures. He's smiling. I think he's kissing babies. He's got that Mardi Gras float with him on there like, in the back of his mind. Like he's that
smart about it. He was wearing a turtleneck.
James Harden's fat suit.
No, he had a turtleneck that had the
big
right here.
Big turtleneck guy. Big turtleneck guy.
Hey,
but
Zion, I've been there. I know it works.
Hey, cool sculpting.
Cool sculpting. Look at this thing,
It's a little cool sculpting.
Looks like I've been chewing aluminum cans.
LSU football, big surprise. Not only was it a surprise, but big transfer in from Arizona State. Number 1 dual threat quarterback in the 2019 class comes in, was a 3-year start in Arizona State. We already had a stacked quarterback class, or stacked quarterback room. This just adds to it. Miles Brennan, whether that's good or bad, I don't know. Miles Brennan keeps getting dumped on, but, competition is good. You can't have too much competition in the quarterback room. I think it's going to help. I don't know what's going to happen. But let's get back to LSU baseball, because that's really what I want to start the show off with. The boys are talented. I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to trash anybody. I've been there. I've been in situations when I was here in 2010. We lost 8 straight games. We ranked number 1 team. We're the number 1 ranked team in the country. Went through this big skid and had to figure out how to right the ship. Wrong the ship. It got a little off base, off kilter, off whatever you want to call it. We had to figure out how to right the ship. This is super early in the year. I'm not going to press the panic button. I'm not going to say that we need to go ahead and change the lineup. I'm not going to say that, because there's a lot of things that we are doing good. We are 9-3. It's 12 games into a 56-game regular season. There's a lot of things that you need to, new coaching staff, a lot of new players that came in, a lot of guys on the staff. Look, the pitching staff has been pretty solid. Pitching staff has come out there. They've thrown well. You've had guys step up. Blake Money's been great on Friday night. You've had guys it's not like we're getting blown out. The big issue, the big bugaboo for us is the errors, is the defensive fielding. You cannot give good teams extra outs, right? We haven't even gotten to the SEC play, but you saw it with Texas. You go and you play the number 1 team in the country who's great on the mound, and you give them extra opportunity to score runs, that's hard to overcome. Then you have, you kind of come off the mat and you win a game that maybe you shouldn't have won on Friday against Oklahoma. That's a big one. You thought that was going to jumpstart us against Texas. It didn't. Then you go, okay, you know what? Maybe Texas was kind of a punch in the gut. We're going to figure this thing out. You play against Baylor, you got to win. You're winning. You're starting to play better. All of a sudden, you make 4 errors in 3 innings, and the game kind of gets away from you. So there's a lot of things that we're going to get into. Maybe talk about why things are happening. Kind of talk about the psyche of how some of this stuff, because baseball is a very, Jay knows, like baseball is a very momentum, confidence sport. So if you're worried about, if you're making errors in the infield or the outfield, or you're giving guys extra outs and you're allowing these guys to get 4-5 outs in an inning and score a couple runs that aren't earned, that probably shouldn't have happened, the whole team feels it. The offense feels it because they are trying to overcompensate for some of the defensive miscues that they've had. And now maybe they press and maybe they chase balls out the zone because they want to get all the runs back right away, which that's a normal feeling in baseball. The pitchers are seeing that, so the pitcher's like, well, I got to go and get this guy out. I can't pitch to contact. I got to go strike this guy out because I can't rely. Like, defense is struggling right now. I'm not blaming anybody, right? Everybody picks everybody up. But all of this stuff has a snowball effect, and it takes away from the pureness of playing the game and playing the game with this loose, relaxed feeling, right? I mean, Jay, you can kind of touch on that. Like, when you go through a stretch like this, how do you, as an athlete, as a player, as a teammate, how do you fix that? How do you not let it affect you?
Personally, I just think you don't shy away from what's going on and act like it's not going on.
Right.
You just address it and you take it on head on. I personally think to this point, without like addressing every single situation and or every single position, I think to this point right now, the season's gone pretty much how we expected it to go.
Right.
And so I mean, like overall, like if you check about where they are right now, 9-3.
There's a lot of question marks.
They've lost some. Well, we came into the season saying, hey, all right, this is a stacked lineup. There's question marks on the mound. There's question marks in the back end of the bullpen. Here we are, which was going to breed what you got right now overall. Now it hasn't really played out that exact way, which is why I said I won't get into that exactly. But as far as for 14, there's some soul finding, some identity finding, and guys are going to have to come together, which is,
And this could be good. This could be a good thing.
No, it's great.
Later. Like,
I think they needed this.
Yes.
This was going to have to happen, so I'm actually happy. I won't lie. I wish they, we can really right now say they've had 4 big games.
Yep.
They're 1-3 in those.
Yep.
Right? So to this point, in my eyes, I would like to see them 2-2, maybe 3-1 in these games, maybe drop a midweek game that no one cared about. Like I said, like I think they're right about where we thought they would be in this situation.
Right.
But it's come a different way.
Well, the continuous problem. It's errors. There's 26 errors in 12 games,
But
and then
I don't-
hitting with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, and I don't expect that to keep going. Like, that's hard for me to believe that's going to keep
I said,
going.
look, I gave the excuse in Louisiana Tech. I said, look, we're playing on a turf field, wet, the ball skipping. I understand that. I can get that. Then you go and you have the same things, and that's.
I agree. I
Look,
just mean
get
to
it.
that degree.
It's early.
Yeah.
It's super early. Like, things can happen. You can right the ship, but you have to right the ship soon.
Even
Because SEC play starts coming up, and you do not want to get up in the hole. I've been in that hole. That is a hard, especially now how
it's a
deep
very
the
tough
SEC
hole to
is
get out of.
and how good they are. You don't want to start the SEC with a 1-5, 1-8, whatever start, because it's hard to get through that.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be
Yeah.
the teams are good. They're deeper in the SEC West in particular, but the SEC as a whole is deeper. So it's going to be a harder
it's a
hole
tough
to get out
30-game
of.
stretch.
No doubt.
Simple as that.
So you
There's
want
no
to
other
be
way
able
put
to fix that. I don't have the answer on how to make the defense better. I don't think you need to go and change the entire lineup. I really don't. I think these guys are good. I think they're, the guys that are in the lineup and starting, they're there for a reason. I think maybe you make it known, like, hey, if we don't fix this, there is going to be competition here.
But here's the thing, and this is where for me, like, defense is making an error is not misplaying like a great play. Right. Making an error is not making the simple plays.
Exactly.
So for me, it comes down to, like, all these guys are here because they can make the simple plays. Now it just becomes about actually, like, locking in and not making those mistakes.
And look, it's tough. Baseball's such a mental game. And it beats you down and beats you down and beats you down. And it's a hard thing when you get to those points where it's like, man, like, hey, if you're playing in the infield and you're going through this little, everybody talks about hitting slumps. There's slumps in other part of the game.
Call me crazy too. Like, we obviously know this going through professional ball, but
the schedule that they've had over the past 2 weeks
it's tough.
is closer to a professional ball schedule.
It's
Meaning,
tough.
like, they're not
travel.
used to doing that. There's a lot of travel, a lot of late nights getting back, a lot of games, in that stretch. Like, that's very close to a pro ball schedule where there is no mental break and you get to kind of get away and recharge. It's literally right there. That's tough for them to do. That's
very
not something
hard.
they're
It's
used
hard
to doing.
because in pro ball, you have to figure things out on the fly, right? You don't have the Monday off day or the Monday, Tuesday off day. You don't have the 3 off days a week where you go to the field and you have a practice and you're hitting and you got to go work on fielding and you're trying to figure out and you're trying to hone in on something that you didn't feel good about for the weekend before. You don't get that in pro ball. In college, you get it, which is an advantage. So they're going to have some soul searching to do this week. Go ahead.
No, I'll just say, obviously Jay came in with a big prowess on offense. Like, that was his calling cards, that he's able to, get the guys that can't hit 2 hit, and the guys that already are great hitters are going to be even better hitters. Is there a lot of him taking practice time away from defense and kind of focusing on maybe ground balls and more of that stuff?
So I don't
just hammering home on offense.
I don't know.
Because like you said, these are the simple things. These are simple plays.
No.
We don't want that.
No. Turn it off. Turn it off.
Tries to produce for one day, and this guy wants to start.
Because it's too much of a glare. Too much of a glare. Sorry. We were told that they like it off because you can't see it with the light. Yep,
Yeah,
same thing.
Calls electrical fire.
No, it's okay. Look, she's on top of it. She knows. She knows where she is. She's hiding behind the thing.
She knows how to work it.
Yeah, she knows.
Just laying in the wickets.
But I don't know what their practice schedule is like. I don't know what their practices look like. I haven't been through a whole practice, right? Maybe he does emphasize offense more than he emphasizes defense. But right now, it's not going to be that way anymore. Because listen, the offense and the way the offense has been playing, I know people are disappointed. Oh, they didn't score a lot of runs this weekend. They got beat 6-1 by Texas. They were getting shut out for 7 innings against Oklahoma. They ended up winning. They had some big runs against Baylor, who didn't have a great record. They only scored 6 runs. Like, I understand all of that. But offense is always going to be a little bit behind the pitching early in the season. It takes a little time to get your rhythm, and it takes a little time to feel, like, to have an understanding. Like, I've always said that, like, I don't judge anybody what they look like offensively until they have, 50 to 75 at bat, especially in college. Like, college, you have, let's say 50 to 60, 50 to 70 at bats. In pro ball, you can go up to 100.
I would personally say
100, but you don't get that many at bats
in college. I would say 100 only because like, I guess in a college season you'll end with maybe 250 at the end of the year.
If you play, yeah.
So I'll say 100.
Maybe.
I'll say 100 only because once you get to 100, if you know baseball well enough, you already know, like, hey, so like at 100, if I got 27 hits, I'm hitting 270.
Right.
Like, you know where you are, and it's kind of easy. Once you get past that, those numbers don't move as much. And now, not just so much swing-wise, we kind of get to see who you are as a person, too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
Like, we
really
got to
tough.
get to figure out. Pro ball is probably about 250 when you get to that.
Right.
Because
you have so much. You have so much
more.
time.
You're there every day. So, like, I would give it to about 100 at bats where I'm like, all right, now we kind of get to see who you are.
And look, the offense
and
hasn't
what kind of
been,
season you're going to have.
Right, and the offense hasn't been bad, right? Like, you go down the lineup, like, Trey Morgan's hot. Trey Morgan's swinging the hell out of it. He's driving balls opposite field, sitting balls off. He should have had 2 doubles yesterday. He had 1 off the wall that should have been off the wall. The guy's playing on the track, catches it, right? Dylan Cruz is hitting 400. I know these last few games he hasn't been playing great. He hasn't been doing Dylan Cruz stuff, but he's hitting over 400. You have Barry, who's popping a few homers. Like, he's doing some things. Cade Doty's going Oppo Taco. Like, they're coming up with some, Jordan Thompson had a walk-off home run. So they have some offensive moments. The guy who I think is going to be a big difference maker, and I think that, I don't know, I'm not the manager, I'm not the coach, I'm not making these decisions. I think Gavin Dugas should be moved up in the lineup.
Why do you think that?
Because there's a couple reasons. One, this man hit 19 homers last year. He's a leader of the team, and I know he hasn't been swinging it consistently, but...
Proven in this league.
What's that?
Proven in this league.
Proven in this league. He hasn't been swinging it super hot.
276.
Right, but if you go look at what his numbers are with runners in scoring position, it's probably through the roof. Right. He is driving in even the small... And 276 isn't bad with, like, this early in the season. He could have one series where he hits 4 home runs and hits 500, and now he's hitting 400 for the year. Like, it's... The 276 doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is when he does get the hits, they are meaningful. They're in the bottom of the... They're late in the game, driving guys in, double singles. Last night he had a 2 RBI. Was it 2 nights ago? Last night too. 2 RBI single. Friday night against Oklahoma, RBI base hit in moments where you need them.
He has 10 RBIs.
10 RBIs.
Trey Morgan has 11. Perspective.
Right. And so he doesn't have a ton of hits, but the hits are counting. I also think they should move him up in the lineup because he gets a little bit of protection. Right? So you have...
I think that's huge.
I think it's a big thing. I think it's hard to... And people have always talked about how much does protection actually matter in a lineup. It's hard to quantify. Well, you know what? Go ask Miguel Cabrera what protections feels like when you don't have it.
I'll just say this: when
How
you
many kids does he have?
even
what's that?
How many kids does he have?
I'll even say this: even in your career, like you can probably think back from year to year to year. Your best years, way more often than not, have probably come with a protected lineup.
My best years in Detroit, I was hitting 2-hole for a lot of the year. I had Justin Upton. Oof. I had Miguel Cabrera behind me. I had Ian Kinsler in front of me. Before we keep going, I always do this. I get a little distracted, right? I would be remiss not to mention my sponsors.
By who?
We are brought to you by Mik'd Up. This show that we're doing right now is brought to you by Sterling Automotive. We have our friends at Heineken and Dos Equis. You can see them everywhere. And Lance Beal's spite back. Can't wait to talk about how much I'm going to spite Baylor in the postseason in March. I got Jack on my side. So that's Lance Beal. Our people at Lance.
They're up 28-4. How does that happen?
We got Dozy Place. We got people sponsors. I have to give out shout outs to my sponsors, no doubt, right? And then we get back to the baseball stuff. But I got Jack on board with my Lance Beal spite bets of Baylor.
Taking him to court.
Off the Baylor train. Cannot wait. This is the fake Lloyd sponsorship.
Fake.
Yeah, you didn't.
He worked tirelessly.
All of the effort went towards you, Lance. Thank you for all you do.
Yes, thank you.
And Mickey gets all collectively hate Baylor. So thank you, Lance
Thank you,
Beal.
thank you.
Go Frogs. TCU, baby.
Back to what we were saying, right? Protection is huge. They teach you about protection when you're younger. Like you're gonna be smart, have protection, right, Lloyd?
They didn't do that where I went to school.
Or internet marketing.
But this was baseball protection.
As far as the baseball lineup, protection is huge, especially
if father of one. Mickey's the only dad here.
He is the only dad here. He did.
Nice. Congratulations.
I hope.
Well, in this closed-in room, but
in this area, in this arena that we are in. But for a guy like Duga, who's not maybe as hot as he wants to be right now, but you know he's gonna figure it out. Like you know he's been battle tested. He's done it in the SEC. You bring that guy up a little bit in the lineup, and you have a little bit of protection behind him. Maybe that gives him a little bit of a jump start that he needs. Now they can't just spin it and pitch around him and go and throw to the 8-9 hole guys. They're gonna have to go.
I think it's twofold, honestly. Like you're spot on with that. I think you bring him up in the lineup, and it helps him out a lot because of what's behind him, because of what might be on base in front of him. All those things, right? Well, I say twofold. I think it's threefold. That the next part of it is dude, it's 2022. Like everyone does scouting reports.
Yep.
Everyone knows, hey, who we got in the lineup, blah, 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 blah. This guy hit 19 in the SEC last year, and he's hitting 7. I'm not pitching to him.
No. Right.
Like I'm gonna let 8-9 beat us, but he ain't gonna beat us.
And this is my thing is whenever they do have to pitch to him, he gets the base hit because they have to pitch to him when there's guys in scoring position and they don't want to put him on.
Right. And so and I guess my last point is, and the last point is this is a huge one, and it's not talked about enough, but by no means am I the coach, nor do I want to be the coach. That's his decision. That's his clubhouse. That's his team, right? But I think the part of it that's also probably the biggest part of it is, and I don't know if this has happened. I don't even really want to know if it's happened because that's not really my business. But him hitting in a 7, I would hope there's been a conversation between him and Jay, a closed door conversation, and they, have talked it out, because if not, I think there's a good chance that you're asking a man to come to the park every day to basically prove himself in a league, on a team, in a clubhouse that he's already proven himself in. And so you're making him have to feel like he's trying to do more than what he did last year, and last year was well more than enough.
And I'm assuming they have had that conversation.
I am too, and that's why I said that.
And I'm assuming Jay's telling him, hey, look, you're hitting 7-hole because you're going to bring stability to the bottom of the lineup. You're going to drive in runs whenever you have 4 or 5 guys in the lineup that are really good, that are always going to be on base. You're going to have RBI opportunities, right? Well, what's going on right now is that those 5 and 6 hole right now they're not bridging that gap to him to where he has that opportunity. So then there's opportunity for the guys to basically pitch around him, and everybody's like, oh, there's bases open. Like guys on second, there's a base open. He's like, no, there's a base open always.
Always.
Right? Except unless the bases are loaded, there's not a base open.
Always.
There's always a base open.
It doesn't
like,
even matter if it's first and second. The base is open at third. Walk them, they just keep going. There's always a base open.
Right? Always. So
if I don't have to pitch to you and I don't want to pitch to you, unless the bases are juiced, I can literally pitch around you.
Yes.
Unless you're Barry Bonds. And then there's
there's a base
and then they still said, you know what? There's a base open.
But that's the run on the board.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like he's got that factor where it's like, man, every time he gets up in this situation, I mean, he did it last year.
Yeah.
He would hit homers or he had base hits. Like, damn, he's got something about, like, he's going to come up, right? Well, why not put this guy in a situation where he can do that more often? And look, I think Jobert's great. We've talked about it, I love Jobert's swing. I think Thompson is great, right? I think Thompson has the ability to be good. He's struggling a little bit right now defensively. He came up with a big walk-off homer, but I think that I'm not, like I said, we're not telling you what should happen. I'm just looking from the outside looking in. I'm thinking that maybe this guy, if you want to try to jumpstart something, maybe you move him up, let him jumpstart himself, and that offense jumpstarts.
Where would you drop him in the 5 hole?
I think you put him in 5 or 6.
Yeah. Me personally,
yeah,
I wouldn't put him past 5, but that's just me.
Like,
I just think he's got too much middle of the yard potential.
This is my other thing. I know that Cruz is in the 2 hole, and I know Morgan has been great in the leadoff. But maybe you put Cruz leadoff. You have Morgan hitting 2 hole. You have Barry hitting 3. Doty hitting 4. Gavin Dugas hitting 5. Right? And the reason why I say that, there's a couple of reasons. One, you have the best pure hitter with damage, everything else hitting leadoff. I know you want him.
His game travels, dude.
It doesn't matter. He can hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. His game is going to be the exact same.
It doesn't matter.
This guy's going to hit. He's going to get on base. He's going to score runs. He's going to hit the balls over the fence. Whatever. Right?
I guess I'll put it to this, and we brought him up, and it's really not to, like, I guess compare it. It's just to understand, like, I do think there's a such thing as certain guys have a whatever it is spot in the lineup mindset, right? And it doesn't the talk of it last year was, man, it'd be great to have Cruz in the middle of the order and hit all these homers with runners on. But I don't know if he had a middle of the order mindset at that point.
Right.
And I don't know if he still does right now. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that certain parts of the lineup, certain guys have a mindset for those spots, and they just operate. They just operate at their best there.
Here's my thing.
It's really that simple.
The whole point of baseball is to score runs, generate runs as much as possible, right? Whether that's scoring runs, RBIs, all those things are tied in together. I can promise you this. Not one guy in a Major League Baseball draft and not one scout is going to look at Dylan Cruz and is like, man, this guy hit 18 homers, but only had 48 RBIs. He must not be able to hit with guys in score position. No, that's not it. Because he's a baller. His swing is going to play no matter where he's at. He didn't get driving guys because he was hitting leadoff. Because he'd had the opportunity, which is okay.
Numbers anyway, so
which is okay,
it doesn't
right?
really matter.
So I think that, let's say he's sitting leadoff. He can run. He takes second base.
Springer.
Let's say he hits a double, right? Leadoff double, right? Then you got Trey Morgan, who we've talked about that a bunch on this show. Trey has the best bat-to-ball skills probably on the team and one of the best in the country. Best Jay's ever seen. Well, now you got Trey Morgan hitting 2 hole who can handle the bat extremely, extremely well. He can get a hit to left field, center field, right field. Well, now you got Dylan Cruz at second base with no outs, and you got probably your second best hitter on the team. Maybe your best contact guy on the team. And now you say, hey, you don't just need to make contact. You can do whatever you need to do. You can drive the ball, hit whatever. But the majority of the time, he's probably going to get him over to third base with less than 2 outs. And now you have your big boppers in the middle lineup with RBI opportunities. And that's how. And then as it snowballs, you're going to have guys replacing guys at second. You're going to have guys getting on base because now there's pressure on the other team, right? And so I'm not saying moving him up to the 5 hole is going to make all of that, make everything better, because it's not going to make the defense any better. But I think that it may make a little bit more consistency within the offense. Defensively, I mean, to me, the remedy defensively is you have to go out there and you have to play you have to literally practice, and there's got to be some sense of urgency at practice to make, like, you can't just say, oh, it's practice, I'll boot it a ball, it's whatever. Like, everything has to matter in practice. You have to play, and you have to put that sense of urgency in your mind the same way it would be in baseball, in the middle of the game.
And you may or may not at this point too. I mean, who knows? Like I said, we're not in the clubhouse, but you may or may not be getting guys taking their at bats to the field too right now, right?
Right.
Like, the offense isn't clicking as much as they want to be right now, and it's not even like they're doing bad, but everyone isn't like literally hitting them off. And there might be some at bats taken to the field right now, which takes away from the focus of what you're supposed to be doing right at that time. So just like you said, there needs to be a little more sense of urgency on that side of the ball. And it just,
I mean, you've seen how much in a baseball game, how much a big play on defense can jumpstart a team, or a big inning where there's the pitcher gets in trouble. He comes out here and he nuts up and he strikes a guy out and he's beating his chest coming off the field. Like, you can feel that emotion, and you can see the next inning. A lot of times, the offense goes out there and pops in 2 or 3 runs. You're like, damn, okay. And then you get going. Then the pitcher goes back out, shutdown inning, and that's the big thing is shutdown innings. Right? And you go out there, you score runs as an offense. You go back out there, your guy on the mound needs to understand, okay, I need to get back in here and get the guys back in the dugout, in the batter's box, so that they can keep scoring runs. Like, baseball is such a momentum game that everything works together, right? The pitcher's on the mound, he has control of the tempo, but he understands that, hey, our shortstop just made a badass play in the hole to save me from a run, got us out the inning, our offense went down and scored 2 runs. My job right here is to go out there, shut up their ass, and get us back in the dugout so that we can keep this momentum rolling, right? But when you start booting balls, you don't make those plays. Now everybody's trying to pick up the slack from the other team.
Not just that, it's pretty deflating too.
100% it's deflating, because now you have the boy. You're sitting out in the outfield and you're sitting there for 5, 6 outs, 30, 45-minute
sounds
innings.
Like nothing, but you can literally be an hour into the game, 3 or 4 innings into the game, and you don't make that game-ending. I mean, not game, I'm sorry. Inning-ending ground ball that's not really routine, but it turns into an error. And next thing you know, there's 8 more pitches thrown. That takes
no doubt.
It deflates you a little bit.
The pitcher has to work harder. The guys defensively are standing around, so they're not loose. They're not in rhythm of the game. You go back to the offense, and usually when that happens, the next inning, your offense is probably 3 up, 3 down.
Well, not just that. It makes you defensive, too, because now let's say, I'm just literally just throwing the hypotheticals out there, but let's say that ending play was the, 15th pitch of the inning. Well, now if I throw 8 more pitches, we're up to what, 23?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of pitches.
Guess what? That next guy, he's taking the first pitch. He ain't as aggressive. Right. So, that turns around. It makes it for like defensive offensive innings, if you will.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's not where you want to be, because at some point in the year, it almost as an offense, you're like, hey, we're off that. Yeah. We got to start hitting.
No doubt.
We can't keep taking the first pitch.
No doubt.
You know what I mean?
No doubt. And it's just, and look, it's early. We've talked about this early. I'm not pressing the panic button. I think we're going to be really good. I think we're going to be a top 10 team, when it's all said and done. I think it's encouraging to see how well the pitchers have thrown. I really do. I think the pitchers are throwing a lot. Blake Money's been awesome. Like, the fact that you can hang your hat on a Friday night guy.
I'm about to say if we get, I won't say a shell of that, but even like half of that, I'm fine with that. Like,
and I think Floyd,
if he does that through the rest of the year, we got a Friday night guy.
I think Floyd threw better than numbers show on Saturday. Like I said, he had an infield single, a couple errors. He gave up the home run, but should have probably been out the inning.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? You have other guys that have thrown well. You had who started yesterday? The righty throws like mid-90s. He threw in the midweek game.
Cooper?
No, Cooper threw second that day. It was, God, why am I drawing a blank? Midweek game. He threw in the midweek game. Threw really well. Is it Taylor?
I think.
Taylor. Right? Righty. Threw well. Looked good. Gave up some tough. Grant Taylor.
Okay.
Grant Taylor, right? He was touching 95. He started the game, was touching 95. Like, he looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Right? And then you make some errors. You have some unfortunate things happen. But it's not like we're giving up 10, 11 runs a game. We give up 6 runs to Texas and we give up 9, but the 5 errors doesn't really help.
5 errors. Right? You're lucky to only give it up 9.
Right. Like, it's the talent is there. It's just going to take some time for everybody to mesh together, make sure, understand their roles.
Like we said, guys literally trying to understand their roles and basically knowing what, hey, this is what I'm expected to do. This is what I'm capable of.
I'm by no means pressing the panic button. No. Like I think that we're going to be really good. I think the offense is going to be nails. I think the pitching staff is going to be solid. And I think our defense is going to be better. Yeah. But you've got to have a sense of urgency in fixing the defensive part of the game right now. Because if not, it's not going to get better quick enough.
You got to have a sense of urgency of putting it all together. Because like we said, they don't understand this because they haven't really done it else. But you got a 56-game window.
Yeah, that's
a short window.
Sprint, bro.
That's a short window. So you got to come together. The quicker, the better. You obviously don't want to peak too early, but you got to come together and understand roles and roll as a unit.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. But
if it's not for the Jordan Thompson walk-off home run, where do you think the expectations are in Baton Rouge today? If they go 0-3 whenever they went to Houston?
I don't think it's necessarily the expectations. I think it's the I think people are panicking, right? Like people are understand. Like I think people are going to panic right now.
I was about to say I think people are pretty much on because like I said
right now.
They're 1-3.
Look at Tiger droppings. I don't watch. I don't listen. I don't get on Tiger droppings.
Changes and everything.
Yeah, people want to be the manager and the coach and all that stuff. Like that's not like they're 9-3. They've had 3 losses and they have not played to the level of that I think any of them would admit to, right? The expectation that Jay said, the expectation that they set for themselves, they're not playing to that. Right. They would admit that. I'm not saying that they can't get there. But I know people in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, the way baseball is here, they are panicking right now. And if they lose that game, they don't get walked off. They don't have that moment in the weekend. It's like, oh shit, we stink. And that's not the case. Maine. Right? What's that?
I mean, expectations were so high after Maine, 52 runs.
What's Maine?
I know, but you know what I mean? It was just ballooning.
The thing about it is, and we literally just keep saying it over and over, the 1-3 record in their, supposedly big games right now, the concern is, to me, it seems like a clubhouse full of guys that don't know who they are and how good they are yet.
Yeah.
The quicker they can get to that understanding is when you start seeing them play well. Because I guess the reverse side of it is you think that I think back to like really good teams and how it usually happens, the big games they're up to. More than not, the letdown games they can play through, but you'll see you drop a midweek game to somebody who you're not supposed to drop to.
Right.
But weekends come and the kids show up. You get what I'm saying? So it's a clubhouse of those guys who have to they got to cross that bridge.
Yeah. There's a lot of
they belong. Yeah, they got to understand that.
No doubt. And there's a lot of figuring out. There's a lot of chemistry, not issues, but they have to mesh as a team, right? There's a lot of roles that are trying to be decided. There's a lot of roles that are up for grabs.
And the kicker to all of that too, honestly. That really ain't going to come from the coaching staff or that. It's coming from that one clubhouse, and they all got to come together and somehow figure out a way to work cohesively together.
And look, they have, you can tell they love being around each other. They have fun with each other, which is important.
Yeah,
it's huge on the baseball field.
That's the number one thing.
Yeah, as long as they stick together and as long as they back each other up, they are going to be fine. Right? But you have to understand, you have to look in the mirror and say, okay, you know what? Why haven't we won? Well, we haven't played very good defense. Right? Yeah, offense hasn't been hot. Pitching has been pretty decent, but our defense has been awful. Okay, what do we need to do? All right, I'm going to fucking grind my ass off to be able to make this defense. Now, I don't want to press.
No.
But there's ways to go out and work and do this stuff and work on your hands and put yourself in those situations.
We're not out there every day, so I can't see it and I don't know, but that chemistry is number one because it's important. Got to have chemistry to be good, right? But that chemistry is what allows you to have accountability, right? And now there needs to be accountability amongst each other,
right?
And playing for each other.
No doubt. This is the last thing I'm going to say before we go on to start talking about a little bit about college basketball. But everybody talks about confidence at the plate. Confidence at the plate is important, but confidence defensively is just as important, right? Confidence on the mound. It seems like our guys on the mound are pretty confident right now, which is a good sign. Defensively, it does not look like we're confident. It looks like we are worried about making the error, making sure that we're trying to be perfect with the fundamentals, making sure that we're trying to field it and throw it perfectly instead of letting the athleticism play out. Right?
Faster.
And I mean, you can. That's why you look at if you watch third basemen, just a random third baseman in Major League Baseball or shortstops, anybody, and you see them make a routine play, they make the error, they boot the ball. Like they had time to think about it. And then 3 plays later, the guy hits a scorcher and they don't have time to think and they make some great play. And you're like, damn, he gets up and makes the throw. And you're like, damn, How does he make that play and not make the other play? Because instincts took over on the second play. The first play, he's thinking too much. He sees the ball play out. He's trying to say, okay, I got to field it. The guy's running fast. He has all this time to think, right? And that's a normal thing in sports. But that's just, and look, our guys are young. It's not like we have a super veteran team.
It's like literally the equation of like the wide open 3-pointer and
right.
The wide open touchdown catch. It's just too much time.
Yeah,
I just can't act.
And
I'm like, oh my God, don't drop it.
It's got nothing.
Oh my God, put it in. There's no.
It's got nothing to do with talent.
That's how it
nothing.
goes.
It has everything to do with just making sure like confidently. I do this every day. I'm gonna feel this. I'm gonna make the throw. And it's gonna take a couple weekends or a couple games to feel it, make some of those plays. Like, all right, I got this shit. Right. And like I said, I haven't watched how they practice, and I think that they'll be fine.
And I'll just say it again. I think this team's really, really, really good.
Yeah,
I do.
Me too.
Especially if the pitching keeps showing up the way they show up. They just got to put it together.
No doubt.
It's really that simple.
No doubt. That was a good baseball talk. That was good ball talk, boys. That was good. That was good dugout talk right here for 35 minutes because we started a little late. You're grinding over there, huh?
No, we're good. I'm wondering about the baseball team and where. I kind of almost, where do you go from here? Is it a reset button moment? Not yet?
No, not at all.
Because
No.
Not at all.
I just don't know how they feel about what's happened.
I think, look, you're 9-3. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. You're 9-3. I know you didn't get off to the start you wanted to. You've lost some big games. You're 9-3. You win your midweek game. Do we have one or two? Let's say we have one midweek game this week. You go there, you go 10-3. You have a non-conference series this weekend. Let's say you sweep it. So now you go into SEC play 13-3. Right, and that's what you play for the SEC. So you have 16 games into the season. You're 13-3. Like you're not doing as well as you want to, but like you were right there.
But we can't say that because let's just say for shits and giggles that they were 3-1 in these games and they dropped 2 midweek games.
Yeah.
What would we be saying?
Right,
this team's really good. Like
right.
you're not.
No doubt.
This is what we expected them. We didn't expect this team to be undefeated at this point.
No. I didn't expect undefeated at all. But it looks like they're literally a swing away from going to Houston, going 0-3 against teams that you would be like, all right, we're at least in the same arena with some of these teams you would.
No, for sure. But you're also 2 5-error games away from having 1 loss.
Yeah,
right.
And if I told you they went to Houston and they would have go 0-3, would have expected it to be the bats, the defense, or the pitching?
Defense, 100%.
No.
Pitching.
No. From the start, not. I'm saying before
like the season started.
The season started. If I said they were going to go 0-3 in Houston, would you expect it to be the bats, the defense, or the pitching?
Pitching, probably.
Pitching.
Okay, so my point is pitching has showed up,
right?
And I expect the defense and bats to catch up because they're that talented.
Do we know what their defensive numbers were like when he was in Arizona? Is this like a theme? Is this something that's followed him?
Also, I will say this: whoever that asshole is that keeps trolling LSU baseball and Jay Johnson, I don't know who he is.
Wait, on what?
You've never seen our boy Chris McGee? Go look at McGee's Twitter. McGee tweets him all the time because this guy hammers Jay Johnson about LSU not scoring runs or not playing well at LSU, but then he's comparing it to what Arizona's doing over there. I'm like, hey, bro.
Like currently what they're doing over there?
This is a bad breakup for you.
Wait, like what they're doing currently over there?
Is he an Arizona fan?
Yeah, he's an Arizona, like a beat writer. I was like, there's a bad breakup for him. He can't get over it. And so he's trying to bask in the misery. Writer? No, he's at Arizona.
Oh.
He's out in Arizona. He's mad that Jay left Arizona.
Yeah, he's got
and took some players from Arizona. He's in a bad spot right now. He's like, this guy, he left and goes to LSU.
Got a nice heart on him.
He's not playing well, and they stink.
Oh, Brian Peterson.
That guy. That guy.
Hey, okay, but now let's not talk about him because he's enjoying this.
Yeah, he is.
He's enjoying this free advertising.
I hope subscribe to Mike Brian Peterson. Let's go.
Don't give it. We should have kept him unnamed. Just like, hey, you get no anonymous, but we'll talk about you.
But like he comes out and then one of my really good friends does not like when people come on Twitter and they're ignorant on Twitter. And so when he finds you, he's gonna come at you.
Don't let him find you.
If he finds you, he is coming at you. When he comes at you, all the boys are behind him. Here we go. This guy is super salty. Jay Johnson left for the Tigers, huh? You can't really think LSU baseball coach job is in a completely better game. Like, look at this. Like, this guy is just bitter. And complete unrelated news.
The real Brian. What kind of tweet is that?
Get out of here, Brian. What kind
of tweet is that, Brian?
Brian?
Come on, Brian.
Look at this guy.
Oh, man. I'm not gonna get into it.
I can't believe we should have literally just put the tweet. Don't put his name up there.
He's an Uber driver.
Don't give that guy any love, man. Get him out of there.
He does. I don't know what he does. He's something. He's a fan. He does something.
Girl dad.
He works for AZ Desert Swarm site manager. I don't know.
Site.
I don't know what that is. But I mean, give me a break. Give me a break.
He's a knockoff man.
On completely unrelated news, LSU basketball won this weekend.
That guy makes me do this. Like,
I mean, give me a break, dude. Like, just just figure it out.
Everyone in here took a big sigh. Like, Jesus, God, I'm
Imagine
tired.
McGee. Now McGee.
No,
can't put
McGee
it
doesn't
down.
sign it. It was McGee's red.
McGee's going right there. Quick.
He has alerts on
He's
the
ready.
McGee's phone's probably on 1% while he's doing it though, but he's got it. He's
Definitely
never,
doesn't have it plugged in.
Yeah, no, he's that phone's on life support every day.
bruh.
Every
this
single.
Shout out to him. He knows exactly what we're talking about.
Okay,
I hope he's
the
listening.
theme with McGee.
This is a theme of him.
Oh yeah, he sends screenshots of like whatever, and you see this thing is a damn McGee at 2%.
That's how I am. I'm
Every
always.
time.
Hey, he is the GOAT, man.
He is.
He's the most buttoned up dude you'll ever see.
And loves LSU.
But
loves
it's
baseball.
literally like as if he walks in the doors, like there's like a switch that goes off, just like, and it just shuts down, bro. Because that's how he lives. He's great.
Oh man.
Hey, proud of Alexandria, Chris McGee.
Yeah, there you go. With
There you go.
Ash.
Ash.
That's
He's a
right.
quarterback.
Quarterback and shortstop. He was a stud.
There you go.
Yeah, he was good. Chris was
Walking legend over there.
McGee was great off the bench for us. Like you could plug and play, and you wouldn't feel the difference of him not like him being in the lineup.
He was
good. He had some big moments.
He was the legit like super utility dude
before super utility was popular.
Like, I can remember being in college.
Yeah.
Every time they threw him in there for a pinch hit at bat, pinch run, a start, he was coming away with 2 hits. He was coming away with the big hit. He was coming away with stealing 2 bases when you knew
He was running.
when you knew the little black guy was running. Hey, he was stealing that bag too. Hey, you knew he came out on the bench stretching and stuff. I'm like, oh man, they gonna pick over 3 times before they pinch right here. Still getting the bag.
Hey,
every time.
We talk about savvy so separately. He was super savvy on the baseball
Every time.
field.
He was a
super
good player.
savvy.
Man.
Understood.
He was a
it.
good player.
Understood it.
Shout out McGee.
Shout out
Good
Chris
player,
McGee.
better dude, great
Yeah.
dad.
Yep, great dad. Great dad. We'll find you on Twitter and come at you though.
Oh,
Love that. Love that. I thought LSU basketball wasn't gonna pull it off.
Really?
Oh my God.
You thought it did?
PTSD.
oh my God.
I thought it was gonna be a whole nother Arkansas thing where it's like I texted somebody. I was like, man, it's amazing that this is 2 games in a row that I'm watching this game and LSU is playing well and they're losing at half, or they're playing well and you just don't feel like they're gonna pull this off because they were playing great. But it was like, man, they would just do a couple things and like they'd get on a run and all of a sudden like it would be 2-minute stretch. Like, what is going on? It's a completely different team. And they went down like the end of the
first half.
End of the
They hit
first
another
half.
buzzer beater.
That's my
What about
point.
the end of the game when they're trapping or they're trying to double them when they're bringing up the ball to the court? The guy's wide open for the 3.
Yeah. It's just like there's these little things that I'm watching the game. I'm like, you've got to finish this. You've got to finish this off. You have to win this. You cannot lose this game.
That guy had a look too.
Yeah, he had a look.
Oh.
Yeah, he did. But they won and they pulled it off. And that's a I was looking. Is LSU a 5 seed in the SC tournament or is it a 6 seed in the SC
I
tournament?
think they're 5 now.
They're a 5 in the tourney, right?
So 5? Yeah.
So they have to face Arkansas. If Arkansas wins and they win rematch.
Right, but they play. Who do they play? They play
Missouri.
Vanderbilt, Missouri.
Missouri at the gate?
They play Missouri first round, right?
I believe. I think we were talking about. I think they.
I think it was. So you play Missouri, you get through that first round. That's another dub. Then you're going to play somebody. You're going to play another quad 1 team.
you got to.
That second round. You have got to win that second game. I think if you win that second game, I think that you could get into maybe a 5 seed. Maybe a 5 seed.
They're a 7 right now. 7.
I think they're a 7 seed. I think a 6 seed's probably pretty. If you win 2 games, I think 6 seeds is there. Right. If you go and you beat Arkansas and you have that win on your resume, I think maybe sneaking. I think a 6 seed is probably reasonable to think that they would have. In 6 seed, you can go. Hey, you're playing that 3 seed in the second round. If you get through it, if the favorites win, right? That'd be a 6 versus 3 in the second round.
I messed it up. Missouri actually has the play-in game versus Ole Miss. I kind of want Ole Miss to beat them just
So they
because we
play
took
the
one
one
against the chin against Ole Miss.
Right.
And we should beat them.
You have to beat Ole Miss. If you lose Ole Miss again, you should be a 10 seed.
Oh, good work. Yeah, looking at the same thing.
So LSU play a game. Okay, so they play Ole Miss. Let's say they win that game.
You're writing off Missouri that quickly?
Missouri's a good team. Oh, you have the bracket?
I don't know. I mean, maybe.
The bracket would be easier for him.
Yeah, bracket would be a little bit easier. I'm trying to navigate that.
That one was like,
no, that's going to work.
My head was doing this.
But regardless,
Allen in the hand.
Regardless, I guess the point of the whole game was Darius Days plays like that. If he plays like that, LSU has a chance, dude. That means their half-court offense is cooking because he was making threes. I get it, but he wasn't settling for the threes. He allowed the scoring off the dribble, getting in the paint, using his size and his mismatch advantage to the guards that are guarding him to get him hot and allow him to make threes.
Well, he's great when he's in the post.
Yes.
He has great post game too.
Yes. Like I love when he does that, and he balled out. It was senior night and he balled out. He did what he's supposed to do. Tari Eason's going to give you what Tari Eason's going to give you. Pinson's going to give you what Pinson's going to give you. Tari Eason's a monster. He's a lottery pick.
I mean, he proved it in that block. Then
I didn't realize his wingspan was 7'2". His hands are huge.
I just need him to stay on the court.
Just stay on the court.
Stay on the court,
man.
I need you to stay on the court. And look, sometimes he gets away with it and he gets the steals.
Right.
But we've got to pick and choose.
It's getting to the time where look, 2 losses could basically end your year.
Yeah.
I need you to stay.
You gotta be on the court.
I just need you to stay on the court.
I need you to be on the court and be the baller that you are.
Yes.
And not have us worrying about having you on the bench.
This team is like levels better when he's active.
It's the well-oiled
like I need him to
machine.
play. Yeah.
Everyone has to, because you don't have the guy who's just like, fuck it, go ISO. We need a bucket. It's a well-oiled machine because if everything's clicking,
because the defense is going to play hard.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're going to play well.
Because then you get Mwani. If everything's clicking, then Mwani's open. And he could swing it.
No
and
doubt. And half-court offense has looked a little bit better recently. It really has. It hasn't felt as stale. Hasn't felt as stagnant. And you're seeing back cuts. You're seeing movement. You're seeing bounce. You're seeing passes in the lane. Like all of those things are going to play out big in the tournament, and I'm happy with how we're playing because they played really well. There we go. Look at that. We're working, boys. We are working.
Oh boy,
we are working. So you got let's just say whoever wins, Missouri, Ole Miss, either one, whoever wins that game, that's a win for LSU. That puts us in the quarterfinals, right? Against Arkansas. Let's say we beat Arkansas, which we can very well beat Arkansas.
We've lost 2 games, but we've beaten them. We've just lost.
We should have beaten them last game.
Shooting ourselves in the foot every time. And even the home game, completely shot ourselves in the foot.
So you go ahead and you win that game. You put yourself in the semifinals. Anything can happen at that point.
It's Auburn,
right? It'd be against Auburn, but Auburn's good. Obviously, they're a 1 seed, 2 seed in the tournament, but they've haven't been as dominant lately as they were earlier in the season. I'm not saying that they're not good.
I mean, we called them at their pinnacle.
Oh, we called them at their peak, where your boy was getting 10 blocks. Kessler was getting 10 block shots a game. So I'm not saying that we are going to beat them, but if you play them tough, that's a good. I won't say good loss, but it is a good loss.
You get to that game and you're competitive in that game,
for sure. Maybe a 5.
It'll put you in a good spot.
Now you beat them, you're definitely a 5 seed in the tournament. You know what I mean? You go ahead and you beat Auburn. You're a 5 seed. Let's get through the first game and let's beat Arkansas and go from there. Because, hey, you know what? What we did against, it may have been last game against Alabama when they face guarded on the last play. Who was their point guard?
Shepard?
Yeah. They face guarded him and couldn't get him the rock.
It was great.
It was great. It was unbelievable. It was an unbelievable timeout and coming out of the timeout, defensive adjustment by Will Wade. It was unbelievable execution by the team. That was their guy, and they went. Things got a little hectic, and they sped up on them, and that was huge. I think the defense. I think that how good LSU's defense is. I think they sets them up. I'm not saying they're going to make it deeper in the tournament. I don't think that they're an Elite 8 team. I don't think they're a Final Four team. I think they could make it to the Sweet 16 though. I think defensively they are that elite. I think it all matters if you have your point guard stay out of foul trouble and Tyree Easton stays out of foul trouble.
When they're in the tournament, I mean, it's going to be a junkyard fight.
Well, I was about to say, it's going to be super slow, but shot making it's huge.
Huge. And that's where to me that's where Darius Days comes into play. Where hey, if he can get into the lane, he can make those floaters. I mean, when he had the mismatch off of him and he took the ball and Tari Easton's posting up and he realizes that they are probably going to play they're sagging off. He takes it baseline, spins in between, misses a double team, and lays it in. That is
Oh, his
next
drop
level.
step's unreal.
Yeah. Right? And then he took it down baseline and had a little floater. Like that's what turns him into like a difference maker.
Well, Andy, I was starting to shoot the through ball a little bit. They found
That's
him,
because of confidence.
Yes, they found him late in the shot clock. Like Pinson was kind of got lost and double teaming. And they found he just kicked it out to Tari Easton late. Boom, bang, 3-pointer. Just like this guy.
Oh, you're talking about Tari?
Yeah, Tari Easton is who I was talking about because. I mean, I know that you're a big fan of Darius Days getting down in the post and kind of doing some dirty work because it opens everything else up. But
it opens up his game.
Yes.
He gets more confident. When he makes those little bunnies and he gets in there and he has those physical and he gets emotional, like that builds, like when he does that, I have all the he can shoot it from wherever he wants on the court
on Saturday
because he's confident enough to do it. Now, when he's shooting and he's trying to shoot to get himself out of it, I'm not as confident in him making those shots. He may make a few, but it's not going to look as clean. It's not going to be as in rhythm. But yeah, Tari Easton has a step back three now, and the like he can pull up from wherever he wants. It doesn't have to be like wide open. That's
so ridiculous.
That's dangerous,
7-2.
And Sharif is playing better.
Yes,
Sharif's playing aggressive. I was texting us in the groups. I was like, "This is the most aggressive I've ever seen Sharif play ever. I've seen him play since he's been here."
Yep.
Right? Like, I think he's finally starting to feel himself, get his legs underneath him. And
jolt
like,
guy off the bench, that's what you need. You can be scrappy all you want.
No doubt. Like, he is, like, I mean, at the end of that game, he was the guy in, not Efton.
Yeah, because he gets that small, but he's so long. You can play a small dimension, but
because he can play. Exactly. He's a big guy, but you can play him on the outside, so it doesn't matter how, because he's athletic enough to be able to defend.
How about this? Brandon Murray with the most quiet 17.
Brandon Murray.
There was times when they were looking for him. He was coming up ball screens and just like shooter.
What have I said about
He was the one face guarding him.
Yeah.
That was one of his
He's a great defender, too.
What have I said about Brandon Murray all year?
I love him.
He's from Baltimore.
That's the best drinking game. Is just
That's exactly what I was saying.
But like, hey, and Brandon Murray, like, you don't look at him, you're like, damn, this guy's a high flyer. This guy's he's quick, bro. He gets off the ground quick, and he can throw it down.
And he plays hard.
He
is like on the defensive end. He's running through
cutting clips, and we'll put it on our YouTube channel. You can follow that, and you can read it, which gives me a great time to say, if you're not subscribed to our channel, please subscribe to our channel, and you will be able to get all of these videos plus the stuff that we're going to do outside of the shows. We will have them on there. Also, what I found out from somebody is a doctor, he's a dentist or an orthodontist, said that he doesn't watch TV at night because of the lighting and like all that stuff. So he puts his phone down, listens to podcasts. You know what podcast is to before you go to sleep? Mik'd Up. Our podcast.
That's an odd.
He listens to the boys. He listens to
we're
us.
not a sleep-friendly show.
I don't think we're a sleep-friendly show. We got a lot
okay,
of
that's what I told
juice.
him, but he loves it. So we're in his ear holes when he's going to sleep.
Hey, that turned out. That's what happened to me whenever I would watch. I put McAfee on at night. That's not really a sleep-friendly show, but once you get lured into a little conversation, it's nice talking points.
So that gives me the next segue.
The doctor.
We're putting people to sleep. Sometimes some people can think of that as a bad thing, but we think of it as a good thing.
Late nights only, baby.
Put you to sleep. Night, baby. Put you to sleep. Love that.
Yeah, especially for the female audience. You want to put them to sleep.
Okay, you went there, not me.
Jesus.
Look at Lloyd.
Let's take a
Look at Lloyd, you little sex panther over there.
You're on your own raft on that one.
Hard 90.
Look at Lloyd.
We do have, I don't know, is Apple Pod still messing with us?
I've got the new graphic from the Goose. I'm putting it in today.
So maybe Apple Pod will be up soon. It's not our fault. I don't think it's our fault. Maybe a little bit our fault, but Apple is very difficult. If you want to listen to the podcast, we're on Spotify. We're everywhere else but Apple Pod right now. We will be on Apple Pod here soon. So thank you for supporting. Continue to support. Like, share, tell a friend. We are here. We were wrapping up basketball, wrapping up a little bit from the weekend. SEC tournament's coming up this weekend in Tampa, which is kind of weird that it's in Tampa this year. But
it's in Tampa this year?
There's a chance. I was teasing a little bit last week about some things cooking, some irons in the fire cooking. Now, it's a little bit slow. Yeah.
His freshman year, he was put the world on notice.
Right.
They thought they had a guy.
He's a 3-year starter. He has experience. He's been out there.
Yeah.
I think it cannot hurt. I'm surprised that he came here. But I don't know. I mean, I feel bad for Miles Brennan, but maybe Miles Brennan wins it. You know what I mean? Like, you still have to compete. He had to compete anyway, and now you just have to compete even harder.
I mean, like, if we're not taking a political route to this, I don't feel bad for any of them.
No, right.
Now, if we're taking a political route, then whoever is the odd man out, which we don't know, which, it is what it is. But if they actually, hey, best man wins it, It's great.
I don't think LSU was looking for a quarterback. I think a quarterback found LSU.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I don't think that they were actively looking to recruit him and bring him here. I think that it was more of like, hey, he reached out or he became available. He came here and said, hey, I really like LSU, and then they're like, okay, well, obviously, if you want to be here, we can't say no because you are talented and we think that you have the ability to help us, whether you start or not. I mean, you could look at Georgia. Georgia got the transfer from USC. JT Daniels was supposed to start. He never started. He started a little bit, got hurt, didn't play. All of a sudden, Stetson Bennett, the fourth, became the guy, and he could not cut out and he ended up winning a national championship. So, like, just because a guy transfers in does not mean he's going to be the starter. What it does mean is it enhances the quarterback room and it brings competition, which is going to help everybody.
But I think Stetson won because he had a friggin' 6'4", 600-pound lineman that was on the other side of the ball running fast.
6'4", 350 pounds. He ran a 4.7 5.40.
10-foot broad jump.
Hey, do you know the funny part? Hey, the funny part is people because it's not.
I can't. I was trying to hold.
Wait,
I was trying to bury this lead. I can't.
Wait. Because it's not called. Because 4.7 is not called fast. Like we forget how fast it is.
It's faster than Pat Mahomes.
That's what I'm saying. Like 4.7
4.7's fast,
bro. If you're 300
maybe
pounds
not
and
NFL
running,
fast,
just 300. I'm not even talking about 350 like he is. If you're 300 pounds and running a 4.7. That is ridiculous.
How is this man still projected to be a mid-round first?
Especially in a year where there's no 3 or 4 or 5 quarterbacks who are the guys.
Then Georgia's defensive end ran a 4.4 something. And their whole defensive line.
They had 2 linebackers that showed really well too, right?
Yeah, and they had yeah. Like
he didn't test, but the other guy did run well, right?
Did Dean test?
Well, no, he didn't test. He didn't run, but Tidwell, the other linebacker, he ran 4.56.
Bro, that defensive line is something else. Like that defensive line was everybody knew how good it was and how deep they were, and then you saw them test on the field, and you're like, okay, well, obviously this is why they're so good because they are absolute aliens. They are not real human beings. To be that big and that weigh that much and move like that, give me a break.
Strength coach has got a raise.
Yeah, the punter was moving. You saw that? 4.56. Now our punter.
What about the other punter?
You can't be throwing up 12 reps with 225 though, like our punter though. Yeah, that's fine. That's the only thing.
Maybe that kid from San Diego State though, the other punter.
Did you see him? He flew. He can run too though. He ran like a 4.6 something. Yeah. Did y'all see him punting 80-yard bombs like it was nothing?
He's like the wonder leg, bro.
Bro, this guy is a absolute unicorn.
Yeah.
What? He was hitting balls. Here we go. Look at this, Jordan Davis, 96th percentile. Is that good? 92nd percentile. Is that good? 482 slow too. I don't even think that's his. I think that's the unofficial.
No, I think that was.
I think the official was 4.7, 4.7 something.
Freight train.
I love that the guy that tweeted it out. He goes, "That's just one of the wildest things we've ever seen at the combine." It's like you can't really put into words what just happened.
He wasn't.
That's just unbelievable.
And watching him run, he didn't even look like a big man running. No, he looked smooth, dude. He looked like he was trying to put a hole in the ground when he was taking a big step.
And he had the t-shirt on too, so you really couldn't tell how big he was.
Right. The guy went baggy shirt and still ran a 4.8. He wasn't wearing the tights where you can see their junk moving around. He's wearing baggy shit.
Yeah, there was a guy that had his junk fell out while he was running the 40, so he just kind of went down. He just said, "I'm just gonna lay down. I don't know what to do in this situation, but my dick's out, so I'm just going to a little rug burn."
I mean, I don't know. That's
unfortunate.
UL had a safety that balled out.
Literally?
Percy Butler.
He ran a sub 4.40. 4.3940, and his on-field skills, the ball skills, were unbelievable. I think he made himself some money. Shows you how good UL was. It shows you how good
Napier was building a monster.
They've been doing it for the last few years. Man.
Yeah, Napier did a really good job over there of recruiting guys, developing guys. Now he's putting guys in the NFL.
Yeah.
And you saw it in the transfer portal when those guys left and went to Florida or wherever they were going. I think, did LSU get one of the guys from UL?
Yeah.
They got the cornerback from UL. And then you see the guys going into. You already see the guys already in the NFL from UL, and then the guys that got invited to the combine. In the past, guys were never getting invited to the combine from UL.
No,
you know what I mean. And now these guys are running 4.39s. They're getting athletes, They were getting real athletes. Hopefully, they continue because I think that's good for Louisiana whenever they're good.
No,
you know?
all those UL fans are now the biggest Florida Gator fans you'll ever meet.
No doubt, which I still don't understand. I'm not gonna. We're not gonna go down that rabbit hole. I just don't understand.
Go down it.
I don't understand how there's
it's not a thing. Just imagine if everyone here was just rooting for Alabama.
Yeah,
it's not a thing.
Because Nick
Billy
Saban
left.
went there. Yeah,
Billy left. He's gone. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going by a Florida hat if I'm.
it's like, well, they're gonna do it because they hate LSU.
It's just ridiculous.
Like, why?
It's just ridiculous.
There's no competition between either of the teams. Like, they both can excel and they both can be really good. They're not in the same division. They're never going to be on the same level playing field. Like,
no, it's not the same. Not from your. It's just not.
And that's okay.
Yeah, that's like you said. What if Nick Saban left? And whenever he came back to college football, everybody in Louisiana was like, I love Alabama football now because of Nick Saban. Like, that's not the way fandom works.
No.
Hell, even if Saban left and said he's going to, I don't know, West Virginia right now.
I wouldn't
You
give
think
a
everybody
shit.
in Louisiana's going to be like, I want a West Virginia hat. No.
Country roads, baby.
No. Nick's gone.
No.
You can respect him, but we're not going to just root for him in the open like that.
That's what they're doing. They're openly rooting just for Billy Napier. Like,
Because they hate LSU. Well, they like Billy, but they also hate LSU.
Yeah.
So it's twofold. So
what
it's like, hey,
happened
dude, you can cheer for. You
But
can
then they
hope
wanted
that
him to go to LSU.
you can. But yeah, and
What would
honestly,
that be
here's the
without
thing.
LSU?
Here's the
Where
thing.
can you be?
Here's the thing. They want him to go to LSU, and they probably root against LSU.
Yeah.
They probably want
100%.
LSU not. They want LSU to stink because they took their coach.
Right. Hey, man, look, listen.
Yep,
Bro,
exactly.
listen. Be happy for what he was able to bring there. Wish him well.
Hey, I hope
But I'm not turning into a Florida
Desimo does well.
fan.
I hope
Desimo.
he does. I
not
hope
too
he
well.
continues that. No, I hope he does well. I hope they continue to do what they've been doing because it is good for Louisiana.
Oh, I thought you meant Billy of Florida.
no,
You know?
Desimo.
No. Desimo.
It's a Desimo.
By the
right?
way, I it's so weird too. I actually remember watching him like
Me too.
play football growing up.
Yeah, me too.
I'm like,
Funny
God,
story, I played against him in high school. He was the head coach at essentially Episcopal.
there you go. I grew up with his little brother, and he was a little older than me, so I actually remember watching him play.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus.
I mean, I hope he does well there.
He's a good
I hope
dude, man.
He's a great guy.
He's a good dude.
And he loves LSU. I mean, he loves UL. He's been there forever.
Probably loves LSU.
I think he loves LSU
Yeah.
too. Quietly, but you
Well,
know.
I think he understands. I think he was on the Napier staff, and I think he understands it. But I hope that he continues what Billy left.
Yeah.
Because he obviously left a legacy, and he changed the program because you see the athletes that they have coming out of there. Ty Davis Price lost a lot of weight and showed out.
How much did he weigh before? What was his game?
I don't know because he didn't look slow at LSU.
No.
He was
He went
powerful.
211.
No,
No, it wasn't 211 at all.
Yeah, 223 at the start of the season, yeah.
And now he's 211.
he ran a 4.48.
Whoever his trainer is, just got a bunch of money.
4.48. I mean, that's eating right and and doing.
That's
all
what I'm
this
saying.
stuff.
Whoever got their hands on him, was
Nutritionist.
like, yes.
Yeah. I mean, 36.5-inch vertical is solid. That's good.
No, that's really good.
You know, and then a 10.7 broad. Like, he showed that he's not just a
Explosive.
bruiser and he's explosive. Like, I'm happy for him.
do you
Damone
think he'll
Clark
go?
showed out,
course.
obviously. Duh. You know, I know he's not projected as a first rounder, but I think
It's
that
crazy
he is
too, because like, don't get me wrong. I mean, he did well.
Who?
Right? Damone Clark.
Yeah.
Like he did well.
His
But
last
those
year was
aren't.
awesome.
But those aren't like, oh my God numbers. But I think that you put on the game tape and you watch that dude play, and they're like, bro, I don't know. I don't give a shit what the testing says. That's a baller, bro.
This guy is making tackles from sideline to
That's a
sideline.
dog.
And
right
if he
there,
touches
bro.
you, you're going down.
Oh my God.
He's not missing tackles.
His arms are long as hell too. Like,
Hey, you know what I love the most about him? And we've talked about it on this show. We've talked about it on Jordy's show. We've talked about it a lot. The thing I love most about Damone Clark is he didn't come to LSU and he wasn't the star from day one.
Yeah.
He had to wait his turn. Then he had some bumps and bruises. He had
Who's
to
he
fight
behind
through
here?
the shit. I mean,
That's why.
3 All-Americans.
That's why. But either
He was
way.
behind. Who was it? It was
Patrick,
before who? Before Devin White.
Patrick, Queen.
Oh yeah, Patrick Queen was there. Devin White was there. And you had. Is that it? Was those two? Were those the two?
Just those two in his time.
And
I say just
Jacob
those two.
Phillips was out there too.
And Jacob Phillips
Jacob
there too.
Phillips was there
so you
too,
had
yeah.
you have guys that are starters in the NFL that are first rounders, like of course, and he gets the opportunity in 2020, right? And he doesn't play well. Then at the end of the season, something clicked. He's like, okay, he started playing a lot better. Like, all right, maybe this guy's got something. Then he goes in 2021 and takes it to a whole nother level, becomes one of the best linebackers in the league. And to me, that just shows, one, that shows perseverance, and that shows mental toughness. That shows that, hey, he has the ability to learn and develop and get better and not allow bad years to seep into his future and seep into his development. And to me, that goes a long way. Because NFL he's going to go there, and there's going to be, you saw with Patrick Queen. Patrick Queen's had some
Not
bumps and
just that,
bruises.
people don't realize that too. Like at a place like this, at a place like Alabama, like those like literal top, I don't know, 5 to 8 schools in the country. Like it's very, very, very hard for a guy to progress and then finally get his chance. You know why? Because there's always that young freshman coming up that they just bring in that literally, for the most part, a lot of times like leapfrogs the rest of the guys.
Yeah.
So like it's really hard for you to see a guy basically wait his turn and then when it counts the most, make it happen.
Yep. I wish Stingley would have performed in this combine. Obviously, he did some of the measurements and was there. And I know you're very mad about Derek Stingley. I know.
I'm not mad about Stingley. I just think it was a waste of time. A waste of probably one of the best.
I mean, it wasn't a waste. We would have loved to have gotten more out of him, but there was a natty that came from
the practice video that showed with him and Jamar Chase.
Yeah,
that'll get you. You don't have to go to the combine. Just
that
watch
was unbelievable. Did you watch it?
Yeah, I saw it today,
dude.
Like about an hour ago, actually.
I mean,
clamped him.
I mean, it was
even if literally the rest of the game, I mean, the practice film literally is him getting roasted by Jamar. Just that alone, you'd be like, we got a chance.
Whoa!
I mean, he stayed with him that much. We got a chance.
I mean, the one where he got up in his grill and he pressed him and he pushed Jamar Chase back off the line.
Whole tape.
Jesus.
It was almost like he was running the routes before Jamar's running them.
We got action, boys.
Bro, he's running them before Jamar's running them.
We are making strides on this show.
That's not a bad route by Jamar, dog.
Like, if you can do this as a DB, stop your weight, get back in phase.
Yeah, and he's on top of him.
On top of him.
He's on top of him the whole time.
And he's not on top of him to the point where you can do back shoulder him because he is there, perfect position.
Like I said, he's
time.
like in those 8 clips there is on there. He's literally running the route for Jamar. I don't care if he got absolutely roasted the rest of the time by Jamar.
Crazy.
They have
That's all I
projected
need to
10.
I'm good.
What's that?
Yeah, we
They
got
have
a
him
chance.
projected at 10
10 overall.
to the Jets.
He's the best corner.
That's your team.
Kayvon
team.
Thibodeau, Jets are getting Kayvon Thibodeau and Derek
I
Stingley.
hope y'all don't get Kayvon Thibodeau. I don't know if Kayvon's gonna be that good. Dude.
Kayvon Thibodeau did 27 reps on bench. But you know what's crazier? DK did 28 last year.
Well, DK's a
That's how freaky
DK is also an alien.
DK's not a human, so
Yeah, it does. I mean, the guy's a freak show.
Do they have? So Stingley's not the first corner taken off the board.
No, I don't think so.
I think Gardner.
Sauce.
Well, they have Kyle Hamilton safety.
Yeah, that's different position.
I know, but he's first secondary. guy.
Are people overthinking this? Watch that. Just go watch him guard Jamar Chase, who just eviscerated.
I mean,
the
they
NFL.
said he got completely cleared by the doctor.
The thing is when you basically haven't shown, he hasn't shown that form since 19, so it's really that's gonna be really hard to.
Yeah, what have you done for me lately, league? I get it.
Yeah.
I get all that. It's tough to overcome.
Sauce showed up.
This guy hasn't played.
He's 6'3".
Yeah, he had a great
He's
combine.
running. He has. They love that right now.
Who?
Sauce Gardner had a great combine.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He ran a sub 4.5, right?
Yeah.
He's a big corner.
He's 6'3".
I was also
Yeah.
listening to
Long.
something,
You see the other one? You see the 6'4", 205 guy? Where's he from?
UTSA.
No, I ain't see him.
Oh,
Hey, they're
corner?
good.
Hey, Frank Wilson.
He
Corner.
ran 4.3.
I saw the two. There was 2 corners from Baylor that were blazing too, right?
He ran
Wide
the wide receiver
receiver.
ran a 4.2 something, but this guy ran a 4.3 something 40, and he was 6'4", 205 pounds. He's a cornerback.
The game has changed.
Hey, do you think? Hey, wait. When those guys show up to the combine and hey, so what y'all say?
right
You
there,
went to,
for the guys
wait,
like that.
Wait, you said he went to UTSA?
Yeah.
Like, so can you imagine the corner that? Can you imagine a corner that shows up from Ohio State? Thinking I'm not literally just pointing him out, but I'm just saying the guy that shows from Ohio State thinks he's a shit. This kid from UTSA walks in, looks like twice the human as him. And you're like, well, what is this? And then he runs way fast. You're like, bro, what the fuck?
USTSA.
Wait, what? What is that? That ain't
Bro.
human.
Unbelievable.
42-inch vertical.
What the?
40? Oh my god.
6'4", 205 cornerback, 4.3 something.
6'4"?
I wish guys like that. I wish guys like that in testing facilities like this. I wish they would just make a walk around. You don't get to put your name on the back. We just gonna put unicorn on the back.
Hey, we don't see 6'4" cornerbacks because we don't think that they're can move around. Nope, you can do that. You're going to be a cornerback and you're going to be able to outrun the receivers and you're going to be able to be physical enough with the receivers. And there's 0 jump balls they can throw to you in the end zone because you are 6'4" with a 42-inch vertical. 42.
And I'm sure with that 6'4" frame, there's some lengthened arms attached to
absolutely.
there.
It's going to be unbelievable. The evolution of football. You see it with the tight ends, right? You have these big tight ends that run like receivers.
Kelsey.
You can split them out like Kelsey and Pitts and all these guys, right? And now you're it's a mismatch. It's a mismatch because they go out on the outside and they have the smaller cornerbacks. Now you got cornerbacks that are 6'4", 205 pounds, and they run 4.3s. Now there's no longer mismatches. You can't just out-jump these guys or be out-physical because they are just the same size as you. But they're faster and they're on the outside. Like, it's crazy.
All that said, I still think Derek Stingley is the best cornerback
I agree.
in the draft. Which is
I'm not
crazy.
saying this guy's measurable is unbelievable, but I think Derek Stingley is the best cornerback in the draft.
So I was watching the scout talk about Sauce Gardner, and he was saying how Sauce Gardner, if you draft him, you have to have a defensive coordinator that is a cover 3 scheme defensive coordinator because he's a cover 3 corner. Like he's not.
It's like the Richard Sherman.
Yeah, he's like Richard Sherman. So if you draft him, you have to have that scheme in place, and if you replace the defensive coordinator, you have to bring in a defensive coordinator that runs that scheme because he's married to that scheme. Like he can't do anything.
Sounds like Eli Ricks. I don't know if you.
There's a lot of guys like that, but that understanding that is huge.
Can we talk
Too often people see talent and they're just like, oh, we want to make him this. We're gonna make him this kind of. No, let him roll. Let him do him. Let him do him.
I've been reading draft projections, and someone's little job is to do draft projections, and he's overthinking it. They have the Bengals taking a cornerback or a defensive lineman.
They might, but
how?
All I'm saying is they might, but that
They
means
better spend some money.
every dollar in free agency better have going to the line.
Yeah.
You kidding me?
That's all that means.
If they think that the offensive line market and free agency is big enough, I can see them doing that.
Yeah.
But
That's all I'm saying. Yeah, that's the only
that's
way.
a
I can
risk.
see it.
If you want,
think about it. You're really not going to get that marquee guy where they're drafting that anyway.
I understand that.
So I can see it.
Take as many shots as you can fixing that O-line.
I understand. But if you're not going to get the guy, if you're going to stretch to get an offensive lineman there, maybe you can get the offensive lineman in the second round because you can still get elite offensive lineman in the second round. If you don't have an elite guy in that pick, I understand using the money and going get somebody in free agency. But I also think that you better.
Corner,
I was about to say that, but you got to think about it from year to year.
Eli Apple's probably not going to be there, bro.
Good.
How did he get it?
Eli Apple turns into applesauce.
Eli said he's working hard this offseason.
Hey, all the haters give him that fuel that he's needed.
Seriously, that's the one position you never really hear about, especially when it comes to the free agent market. So I hope they're doing their homework and are all over this market if that's their projection right there.
You would assume that Joe Burrow is going to be right in the middle of the whole thing, right? Like, obviously, he had some say in getting Jamar, so you would assume that he's got some say in where they go and the type of guy they get, right? But we're talking about fits, and we're talking about schemes, and we're talking about defensive backs and how they have to scheme. Did y'all see that Honey Badger is talking about maybe coming to New Orleans?
Ooh, he wants to test the market.
He wants to test the market. I don't think he's going to be a free agent. Boy.
Brad?
Don't matter.
Oh, yeah, he wants to.
It don't matter. Hey, apparently you can the salary cap stuff is fake. You can figure that out.
You can.
I think that would be awesome.
Restructure all over the place.
Do you think? I don't think he can ever come back to New Orleans again. I think that's what got him in trouble, and he's got too many hangers on. That's why.
I don't know, dude. I think that he's
a grown man.
Yeah,
now,
I think
bro.
he's a point in his life where that's not going to matter.
No, I know that too, but them boys are growing up too.
That's over for him.
I think
he got out and found a way, found his way. That's not.
I think that he's in a point in his life where that's never going to rear its head.
Yeah, that's not a thing.
I think he has aspirations. Obviously, he's very vocal about wanting to be the head coach at LSU. Yeah, he wants to be the head coach here at LSU at one day and win national champions. And he understands that the image that he's built in the NFL and the type of man that he is in the NFL can easily go away.
I think he's got not just that.
He knows that he can.
I think he's surrounded himself. One, he's got a family. Two, I think he surrounded himself with the right people and the right, I guess, off the field activities that just keep you busy.
Yep.
That's not a thing for him.
And he's got bigger goals in life. You know what I mean? He's not at the point now where the next day is a goal. The next day is a goal. He's got goals way into the future that he wants to get that he knows that can easily be messed up. He knows that his back's against the wall.
Put it like this: you can't fake yourself into Man of the Year nominees.
Right.
They're watching.
That guy's that's not a thing for him anymore. I think his character and his personality can travel.
Yeah,
even back home.
There's just always up in the ether about Tyrann Mathieu, what he had
to
get.
I get it.
He literally had to get out of Louisiana to get himself straight, and that's why Patrick Peterson got him in Arizona. But he said, I think it was during the Pro Bowl, that he wants to go to Kansas City first. He wants to stay in Kansas City and kind of run with what they've built. But him in New Orleans would be awesome.
It'd be great, especially I'm just talking about scheme and I think he fits
Dude,
perfectly.
just get him back here.
Yeah, I think that'd be awesome. I think that'd be a great him and DeMario Davis on the same
What a
defense.
jersey to be
awesome.
able to have if you're a Jersey guy.
Oh yeah, I'm not a Jersey guy, but I would be for
That
him.
would definitely be a very high seller.
Yeah, no doubt.
Definitely.
When we talked a little bit about,
Yeah.
obviously Stingley. What did you see his comments at what he said at the NFL Combine?
What do you say?
You didn't see it, it's in the document. You didn't see
Best, bro.
it? Yeah. He said, "I understand that there's people, that want me to play, or why, I can't perform right now, but I'm getting healthy. And if you ask me, I am by far the best cornerback in this draft."
That's great. You need that.
But I've never heard him. I've never even heard him speak.
Yeah.
And for him to come out and say,
He's in his bag
man,
now.
Yeah, he just dropped the bag and said, "Boys, I don't know what you're looking at, but I'm the best corner here whenever I'm right."
I love that, and he's
Yeah.
right. He got cleared, so he's good to play. So I wonder if he's going to perform at the pro day.
Oh, he has to. 100%.
He's
He's
gonna
going
put
to
up a
be
show.
He may not run, but I think he's going to do some
he's
good.
gonna run.
You
He
think?
has to.
He has to.
He has to put up that 4.4 that Sauce put up. He has to put up.
Do you think you can get that?
Bro, he's a 4.
I know, but after the
he's
foot
gonna
surgery,
He's a 4.39 in high school at 18.
Yeah, he's going to run. He's going to rub sub 4.3.
Whoa.
If he goes, if he,
oh my god.
He was
Sub
sub 4.3 in
4.3.
high school.
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I
You
remember
just say
seeing
it's
him.
sub
I know,
4.4 high
post-
school.
He was
Surgery.
sub 4.3 in high school. He was 4.39 at the opening. Like,
4.39 is not sub 4.3 though.
still.
yeah, I think he can touch 4.28, 4.29.
I mean, maybe. I
Yeah.
hope so.
Yeah, I think. But if it's not that, it ain't going to be a 4.4. It's going to be 4.33, 4.35.
Okay. I hope.
Yeah, and
I
he'll
hope.
put up. And if he benches, he'll put up 18 reps.
I hope.
Like he's going to be a freak.
Okay.
He had a
I wanna see it.
42-inch vertical.
Yeah. What? He had. Didn't he have? I think he had the highest
42?
rating, right?
Yeah,
Of all.
he had the highest spark or whatever
Yeah,
the
whatever
opening
the
rating
rating is.
ever.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I can
4.3.
remember. I saw him one time in the indoor when he was still in high school. He came in. I think he was doing like a workout with his dad, and I'm like, that's not a high school corner. It even makes sense. I was laughing at it. I'm like, what? That don't even. I only can compare him to. I remember seeing Eric Reed when he was still in high school, and he came through the door, and I'm like, bro. What on earth is that?
Where his,
Why is he
his
so
hands
big?
went down to his
He was
ankles and his
scratching
biceps were the
He was
size of
already
my
scratching
fucking
his
head.
ankle while he was standing straight up.
Yeah.
And his shoulders were as wide as the door. And I'm like, what,
And his
what,
biceps were this big.
I was like, what
I'm
does he do? He play
jeez.
DN? No, that's a high school safety. Nah, y'all tripping.
like that.
Y'all lying.
That's not true. No way.
And
There's no way
and
that
he's a
guy.
biology major.
Yeah.
Is that what he was?
Yeah.
God, man, that's fun. That is fun. All right, we're gonna take a little bit of a break, gather our thoughts, get the. We have a couple segments to go. We're gonna get out of here just a little bit early, and I'm gonna explain why, because that's gonna be my curtain call. But we're gonna have curtain call. We're gonna have what's for lunch, and we're gonna
Little picks. Any picks?
let you go. Our guys sent picks. We have that. We're gonna talk about our
I got
picks.
future.
We're gonna
Oh.
talk. We're gonna talk about our picks, and I'm gonna talk about how I should have listened to Jack, and I did not listen to Jack. And I'm sorry about not listening to Jack because I would have hit 3 bets. He's been hot. Jack's been hot.
I thought Jack was going to be out the game after he bet against his own Celtics. He
Jack-
Keep crawling back.
sowed your own poison.
Jack's gonna be hot. We're gonna talk about all that in about a minute. So you listen to Mik'd Up, brought to you by Sterling Automotive.
Got some gambling stories also.
Papa Earl's, the fine spice, originating right down here in South Louisiana by our guy Mark Pop Norman. Developed it back in 2018 and won Amazon's Newcomer of the Year in 2019. They pride themselves in having 30% less salt and sodium than the leading brands at the same price point. You can find them locally. Look for Papa Earl's at Rouse's, Calandro's, Mathern's, High Neighbor, and more.
The Jordy Colada Show is brought to you by A-Bears Lawn Maintenance. Commercial or residential, A-Bears Lawn Maintenance is ready to work. A-Bears can tackle all your homeowners association requirements. Call Blake at 225-485-8022. A-Bears Lawn Maintenance.
Do you have questions about your finances? Are you looking for recommendations from a skilled financial advisor? Get in touch with our friend Daniel Newman over at Edward Jones. You can find him easily by logging online and shooting him an email at daniel.newman@edwardjones.com. That is daniel.newman@edwardjones.com. Whether it is help with your 401k or just fiscal advice heading into the new season, Get in touch with Daniel today. Best way to do it, email him, daniel.newman@edwardjones.com. He's our experienced financial advisor. Let him be yours, daniel.newman@edwardjones.com.
Now we're back. Welcome back to Mik'd Up, brought to you by Sterling Automotive. We're going to get you out of here on this Monday. We have a few segments to hit. We're going to make this quick and fast, and we're going to talk a little bit about betting. So this weekend, I took a couple days of being relaxing on my bets because our guy was super hot last week, and like betting normally does, he came back down to earth a little bit, and I wasn't winning some picks, and it was just a lot. It was just a weird transition before March Madness and whatever. So I did win the LSU overruns last night. I didn't pick them money line. I picked them to go over the runs. They hit that, so that's nice for me. But I was down for the week. I made the mistake of not following my good friend Jackie Boy's picks because he is hot. He gave me a pick. He said you need to take a futures on Loyola Chicago to win the tournament.
Missouri Valley tournament.
The Missouri Valley tournament. I said, okay. And I got distracted, ended up not taking it. He sends me a text message saying, hey, it was plus 160. He goes, hey, did you bet that? It's like, no, I forgot. He goes, they won. Bet that.
Bet that.
Bet that. And I didn't. Bet that. And they won.
Is that true? Bet that?
But Jack had told me he was hot. I believe that he's hot. I see that he's hot. I should listen to him. I will listen to you from now on. So
don't put that pressure on me. Don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
I will listen to you until you're not hot. But our guy did send some picks. Hopefully our guy does get hot. Did we get those set up?
Oh yes, we did.
We did get them set up.
Yes, we did.
We did get them set up, and we've been working hard making graphics work. Boom. Our guys picks. Look, he threw out the first quarters and
I like
the
the
first
Knicks
periods.
pick. I like the Knicks.
LA Kings first period money line plus 155. You get plus money in hockey. Usually when he gives you hockey, it
Slam.
fucking hits. Slam it.
Hockey's a must bet.
Hammer it.
I might hit that.
Plus money.
Should I do first period?
I'm doing it. I'm doing that. You got Northern Kentucky. You got first he's into the first halves. Now
Who is IPFW?
Don't worry about
doesn't
it.
matter.
Northern Kentucky is all you need.
Definitely not betting on him. I know that.
We're doing the first half under. That's all that matters. I don't have any picks right now because I will have them. I will put them on Twitter later. But our guy has picks, and that's really all that matters because when I'm gone, which hopefully coming up soon,
Yeah.
I will send in picks, and I can't bet baseball. So our guy will be sending picks to Lloyd, and Lloyd and our guy will be betting baseball, and that will be on the show.
And I'll ignore those picks and put my picks in.
Plus, you don't want me to pick. I'm obviously not winning. Who do you have? Who do you like? Do you have big picks?
Yeah, I just did a 3-leg parlay for conference championships.
Love that. Who'd you get?
Duke to win the ACC because Coach K blamed them for everything bad in life, all those players. So now they're motivated to make up for it. Villanova to win the Big East.
Coach K didn't go out on top.
And then Gonzaga to win their
Fucking
tournament.
hate Coach K.
So it's plus 468 parlay.
Well, Gonzaga's a tough one. Gonzaga
You
should
got to
win.
play San Francisco.
But they always, the tournament always happens to where like somehow they get slip up in the tournament because they get ready for the NCAA tournament.
And then I put a future for the Suns to win the championship plus 400 because they almost beat the Bucks with campaign out there.
Yeah. That was good. They had some good basketball games on yesterday.
Oh, I was slamming the live bets.
Yeah, no, I should have. I was cooking. We did some some roast and rice and gravy last night.
Oh, great Sunday meal.
Oh, it was awesome. It smelled so good in the house. My father-in-law was doing it, and it smelled awesome. I learned yesterday I needed bigger pots. Because I could only do big one roast in there. I couldn't fit two of the big roasts in there because the pot didn't have a big enough pot.
See, that's a Dutch oven, huh? That's what you need.
I learned yesterday.
Dutch oven?
I mean,
That's what they're called?
I mean,
The Mississippi mud pie.
That's not the Dutch oven I know, but okay. Do you have picks that you like?
No, I was
Not yet. Okay.
I did, however, because it was birthday Saturday, so I'm driving to go.
Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
Thank you. I was driving to go get New York Bagel in the morning before the basketball game, a little breakfast for the boys. So I snagged that on the way.
What time was this?
Well, the game was at
9:30. 9:30.
Okay.
So I was already cutting it close.
I was literally waiting for him to go. It was 11:30. It was morning breakfast.
10:55. Yeah. Oh shit! I got something to do today.
Oh, you mean brunch? Okay, I got it.
Yeah. That was up. We was up. Got first call I got was for Mikey in the morning with the little happy birthday.
A little FaceTime call with me and my wife and Kobe.
So I got to see the family.
Nice.
So I hop in my car, and I've got to have it on the radio station, of course. And it's it's the guys that give out picks on the radio, and he's like, call this toll-free number for your picks that you want. And I end up being on the phone with this guy for 15, 20 minutes. He's trying to haggle me to get me to set up like an account. And I'm like, listen,
why did
brother,
you call them on the radio?
because it was my birthday, and I was like, maybe he'll give me a little more than a free play.
God,
and so
what are you doing? We have our guy.
Did you get any bets?
No, but this is what it was. So he said, call me now. Free picks are college game of the year. Was LSU Alabama. I was like, let me call this motherfucker and see what he thinks about the game because I want to get his pick. LSU Alabama. He said LSU was the play -4, and I was like, buddy, how about this thing down to 2.5, and then we can talk. And he's like, oh, so you know at least what you're talking about.
He's trying to scam you.
And he was like,
he's trying to get your ass.
He goes, those aren't on our free plays. That's if you sign up for the service. Like, all right, have a nice day, bye. So I
hung up on him.
Yeah, nicely. I was like, I gotta talk to some people, get some money together.
Talk to my girlfriend.
Exactly. Yeah. And he was like, whatever. So he knew I was giving him the runaround. He sent me a text to follow up the next day. It's not happening, buddy. But
who is this guy?
No clue.
And what radio station were you listening on?
No, ESPN here.
So it's the guy from Baton Rouge that's doing it?
No, it's a national.
Oh, okay.
National
okay. That was my
picks.
question.
Yeah. So it's a guy in Las Vegas. It's an 888 number. But I just wanted to see who he had in LSU Alabama. And
LSU was the play, but -4 is a lot.
Yeah, that's what I said. So I told him I was buying it down, and he was like, I don't think I'm going to get this guy on the hook.
Yeah.
Dude, I took the Duke G's. I took it.
I took North Carolina.
I was like, they can't lose for Coach K. They
Nice.
knew it. I fell for it.
I don't think they like Coach
I almost
K.
went the other way because it's always those games like that that are built up. You're like, no way it could do it, and it's just the other way every time.
Every time. That's it. You know in your gut. You're like, oh, I know it's gonna go this way, but I don't. It shouldn't.
It should
I'm
never go.
I'm gonna go this way, but
the
you
score
always
is
go
not
the way you
this.
got.
Yeah.
Yep. But
I was so confident.
I really almost did, and I was just like, you know what? I lost a couple like same game parlays with like props and shit, and I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna just chill.
Did Coach K do anything after the game? Was he
shushed them?
Oh, you
shushed the crowd.
I mean, you didn't. I know you don't like. You're not a big Coach K fan.
Dude, I used to like Dude.
He talked and went and said he was an impromptu like speech to the fans, and they were talking. He goes, "Shh, you're gonna want to hear this." Shh, shh, shh.
He really did.
And then he said it, and he basically said,
"Shut up, my moment."
He basically told them that this will never happen again, and this is not like we're gonna win a lot more games this year or something.
Imagine being a player, you lost this. Like, this result was not acceptable. Like, we know, Mike, we know you suck. But what made it so great was just the Texas and the Kansas game went into overtime, so you couldn't see like the intro for ESPN.
Yeah, you could see
Yes,
it.
Like, this whole day just hit the bed. It was awesome.
They really did cook all that. You couldn't see any of that.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
everything was a
That's tough.
failure.
They were trying to go split screen with like the Coach K
They just
walking,
couldn't.
and they're not getting this game is too good. You can't.
I didn't
go
realize
away.
until literally like that night that they had like all those players like on the court before the game. I didn't realize
Those
that.
poor players.
Coach
They
K.
didn't even get a senior night.
No, it's Coach K night.
But it's not about him. It's for the team.
It's not about him. And then so I hopped on Twitter about this, and I was like, Coach K, like,
You got hammered.
If you think Popovich is bad, just introduce yourself to Coach K. Like, he hasn't done a halftime interview since the 90s. I was like, that's my point. That's the problem. This guy thinks he's above basketball. Every coach and their mother goes and has a 15-second
So you don't like
sit-down.
Popovich?
No, I don't mind Popovich, but Popovich is a dick when he does that. Like, it's not a cool move, and
Right.
he thinks it's cool. To not even talk to the guy is way different.
Do
He
you
just
just
sends
like-
out one of his cronies to go
Do you
talk.
just like Belichick?
No. I mean, no, but he talks. He's
just
there.
wonder-
He's
they're-
present.
I'm not-
Coach K
I'm not-
thinks
Their
like
interviews are all in the, they're in
I'm not
line
giving
with each other.
takes. I'm just getting.
I'm just wondering how you feel about,
gathering
you know,
info. That's
They
all.
gave him
I
a
don't
bench.
Yeah.
Huh?
They gave him a bench, the Coach K bench on the Coach K court.
They need to give him an inversion table. He can lie down. His back is always hurting.
He's dying.
He'll die on the
You
court.
think Duke makes
Oh
that
my
run?
god.
Hell no.
Yes,
I don't
they
think-
are. The NCAA is going to do everything they
I don't
can.
think
ESPN's
I don't think
writing
the players
script.
like it.
And they have a good team this year too.
Oh
They're
my
good.
god, they wanted them to lose. They wanted a sucker like me to bet, and they're going to win the ACC tournament.
Vegas,
They know what
hey,
they're
Vegas
doing.
hammered everybody.
I thought you were hot.
He's hot.
I was.
He bet with his heart right there. He was like, I know it. We can get it.
He's hot. He's
What
hot.
one for the Gipper?
I can't wait. So we are gonna have. We talked about it today. What are we gonna do for March Madness for the Mik'd Up show?
Oh, we're making an ESPN tournament challenge bracket.
We're
And
gonna,
everyone
we're
can
gonna do
join.
a few different things, but we're gonna do this is free. We're gonna have stuff that you can buy in brackets and do some betting stuff for the Mik'd Up show. But we're gonna do a free thing with ESPN where it's the tournament challenge, and we're gonna put together. I just got backpacks with the logo on it, hats with the logo on it, some of that stuff. So we're gonna put we can't do that, guys.
Yes,
you gotta come up with our own.
It's not even theirs. It's Stone Cold Steve Austin's.
I know, but they do it. They do it. It's
Everybody stole something from someone.
I know, but we can't steal from them. They're doing it right now.
What?
But we're gonna put all this stuff in the stuff, and we're gonna give away gift packages based off of the winner. This isn't free. We're gonna have some, obviously, maybe some
We should make a degenerate bracket.
I'll say this.
Monetarily?
No, monetarily. We're gonna have some ones that have money involved.
Oh, there
Let's
we go.
do that.
Some incentives.
Yeah,
dirty bracket.
So we're gonna have other betting apparati.
Yeah.
Hey,
there you go.
This isn't a platform for English majors.
Yes,
okay.
definitely not.
It's all right.
Definitely
it's okay.
Not. On that note, because we do have to get out here just a little bit early because I have a funeral I need to go to, which brings me to my curtain calls. And I know some of the guys have curtain calls. My curtain call is to the Davis family. Will Davis, one of my good friends. Cody Davis has been on the show, and their dad, Randy. They all have tattoos, have Randy boys on their shoulder, which is awesome because they're a funny family and they're good people.
Is Will's on his shoulder?
I don't know where it's at. Back maybe? Something. I don't know where it's at. But Mr. Randy passed away last week, and the funeral is today. So my curtain call is the life of Randy Davis. He was a coach here. He's a longtime baseball coach. Left a legacy, obviously, within our group of friends, within the people that he's coached and been around, and within his sons, because Will is now the coach at Lamar. So my hat tip and curtain call to Randy Davis.
And I'll just piggyback off of that because I'm really in the same boat as him. Curtain call, RIP to Randy Davis, is a great guy. I had many conversations with him, enjoyed every moment I got to spend with him, and sad to see him go.
Yep, he's in a better place. That is our curtain calls. It's a somber note, but we'll move on to your curtain call. Who's your curtain call? Like,
it's hard to follow that up.
No, it's okay.
My curtain call. I was going to pay a
What
little.
snowboarders?
Here we
oh,
go.
there we go. There he is. Will on the left, Randy on the right. There he is.
Moment of silence.
Great people. Moment of silence.
All right, and my curtain call is Zion Williamson's back in the
Hey, he's back, baby!
Let's go!
Zion is back,
Zion's
maybe.
back. He's
Sort
going
of,
to
hopefully
church.
back. Kind of,
But
maybe.
he's in the city.
He's taking pictures.
Yes.
And smiling.
He's kissing babies.
It's good.
He's in
Wearing
church.
turtlenecks.
He's found the Lord.
He's
That's
got
And
two
carbs.
Who you got?
two big old dogs. He's got some dogs.
Yeah, he does.
I got the Duke seniors. I'm gonna give you guys your senior day because Coach K stole it. Funny one. Bates Jones, brother of Danny Dimes.
Hey,
Did
there
not
you go.
get a senior day.
Wow, that's
Good
tough.
job, Bates.
That's tough. Bates.
Always getting outshined by
Bates
someone.
Jones. What a name. What a name. That's it. And then the last segment of the day before we go home is what's for lunch. Bro, look at those dogs.
I mean, there's a word where he's attacking.
Look at Zion.
That guy looks scary.
Zion looks every bit of a freaking right guard right now.
Yeah, he does. That's a big human being.
Like, you pull him on a sweep right? Look.
Jeez.
That's a big human being.
Who do you think is faster, Zion or Jordan Davis?
Ooh. Probably Zion. I don't know. That's a tough one.
That's a good one.
I mean, I know who could jump higher. That's not even a question.
Right.
A great race.
It would
That would be-
it's so sad that we're actually entertaining this.
4.7's fast. Coach.
4.7's fast.
Fast.
But you gotta realize what type of athlete Zion is. Though.
I know, but what I'm saying is
Dude,
it's not
Zion.
like he ran a 5 flat. Like he ran a fast 40.
4.78, yeah, I mean,
So
He almost beat Jarvis.
yep, I know.
great race.
Wow.
But
Wow.
last segment of the day. Before I go, 'cause I'm trying. I gotta dress in my suit. I gotta be like presentable.
They have finger foods there?
I don't know what they're gonna have. They have reception after.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see. I don't know. I'm just going there. What's for lunch is brought to you by Doe's Eat Place, our great friends out down at Doe's. You went to Doe's for your birthday.
I did.
They
I
hooked
got
you up?
spoiled, yes.
They hooked you up, right? With some
Absolutely.
tamales. They have some great steaks over there.
Lloyd, good for you, bud.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you. They
Yeah.
took care of me. They got.
He came and talked to you, hung out with
He
you.
did.
over
He
there?
came and shook my hand, and then I ordered one Sazerac. Somehow there was two on the table. I was like,
Hey.
"Thank you,
There
boys.
you
Thank
go.
you."
There
Yeah.
you go.
There
So
were a couple of drinks. They brought me some tiramisu, and they wanted me to blow the candle out, and I went, licking it, stuck it. They're like, "Whoa, shit!"
Who's hurt him?
was a good time at Doe's,
man.
but
Only
it
you.
was nice of him to come over. He didn't have to do that.
Great
Him and his wife both come over and said hello, happy birthday.
Best
Set up the
hamburger.
cake.
Great people.
Great
Yes.
hamburger.
I could have
Great
probably
hamburger.
gotten a hamburger for my birthday if I'd asked.
You probably
But I
could
went-
have, but then you went for the big
steak,
dog
dude.
steak. Yeah, it was
Steak
good.
and fries.
It was good. Steak and frites.
Steak frites.
Steak frites. What? Okay, so that is what the segment is. What's for lunch? I'm not going to be here for lunch with the boys. What are y'all feeling? What are y'all having for lunch? Local restaurants only. Don't forget.
What are we feeling? Jackie? I haven't thought about it. Usually you carry this segment.
I know I do because I'm usually hungry. I am hungry, but I can't do it.
What would you have if you could eat here? What would be the play today? It's a Monday.
go.
Tough weekend. You had pot roast over the weekend. You trying to
did.
get svelte? Are we going?
So if I had to go, honestly, I've been craving this a while. I've been craving ingots.
Oh.
Inga subs. So if I was picking today, I would go Ingas.
Where were you on the Inga's and Mart debate?
I love both, but I love Ingas.
Angus.
Ingas would be my pick. I like the steak at Ingas.
Angus.
I like the steak at
All right.
Ingas.
All right.
That
Maybe
was my
we'll
move.
get both.
More
Road trips-
specific, Angus
road trips,
bright side.
Road trips, I would leave
Come
after
on.
the practice,
Come on
go
now.
pick up
Come
Ingas,
on.
come back, get dressed, get in the plane, go.
Go.
Ingas. Boom.
Oh.
Eat it on the bus.
Oh, and I know. Wait, they get the sandwiches large.
Large sandwich.
Large sandwich.
Yeah, love large sandwiches.
All right, we'll do it.
All right.
Angus?
Angus, we'll do it for Drew.
Ingas,
We'll do it for
boom.
Mikey.
Do it for
We'll
the
do it for
boys.
Jordy and Mike.
Do it,
Yeah,
do it for
yeah.
the boys.
And Mark.
Yeah, Mark.
That's it for today. Hopefully, I am here with you on Wednesday. I would assume that I will be here on Wednesday. Don't know what's going to happen with my future in the next couple of days. We will see.
None of us do.
It's just simmering. Who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen? Hopefully, it gets hot and we'll figure it out, and I can announce it here on the show. And hopefully, we have Logan Morrison be able to get video calls when we come here because he's a very good interview and he's got a lot to say and he's funny and he's
Twitter
great.
fingers.
If you know where my keys are, please let me know.
Yes, please find Lowe's keys so he can show up on time next time. And,
Who would
and if
want
you can
those?
fix the internet, please fix it. I think we went off for a little bit and came back on.
I know, we dropped again and then
Yeah,
we came
we
right
came back
back.
on.
Yeah,
Good.
without touching anything.
That's it.
Kurt called on my mother for driving me here.
Boom. Curtain call on mother.
I'll give her a phone in the back.
She was freaking out when I was driving. She was like, "You can't drive like this." I was like, "I'm gonna be fucking late." I was like, "You hush. I'm driving. I'm sorry after. I'll be sorry after."
Better ask for forgiveness and permission. Right?
Oh, and she had to sit in the passenger seat.
That's
She
it.
was like, she's like, "I'm gonna die in
You
this
should have
car."
told her put it on recline.
That's right.
Yeah,
Just
just close your eyes.
close your eyes. That's what I told her. I
Close
said,
your
just
eyes,
close your
say a
eyes. Yeah,
That's it.
perfect.
How crazy were you driving?
Oh, I can imagine.
Upper 90s.
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah.
Love that. That's dedication. I appreciate it. I hope, stay safe. Don't get in a wreck, but I appreciate
Exactly.
I appreciate their urgency. All right. That's it for today.
Troopers leave Lloyd alone.
Please, leave him alone. Actually, give him an escort next time.
And then I had to run
Please.
here because it was a red light. And you know how it
Oh, you
stops
took it
right
out?
before?
Yeah,
Yeah,
how?
so I got out the car and just fucking huffed it.
I love that. I love that. I'm gonna give you a round of applause for that. That is amazing. That is amazing. That is it for the show. We love y'all. Thank you for watching Mik'd Up. We're brought to you by Sterling Automotive. We have our friends Lance Beal. We have Dozy Place. We have Dos Equis / Heineken. We got a lot of people that are doing a lot of good things for us. Please subscribe, like, share. Push this thing as much as you can. We'd appreciate that because we are doing a lot to make this fun for y'all. If there's anything that you want added, questions you want to ask, please get us on Twitter.
Ask Mikey next Wednesday?
Ask Mikey Ask Mikey this Wednesday.
This Wednesday.
We can do an Ask Mikey. It's probably the last segment. It'll be the last show of the week. Fred's Friday.
Fred's Friday.
If I'm not here, we will still have Mik'd Up at Fred's. I just won't be leading it, but we'll still be here.
Yeah.
Maybe Jordy.
We're going to have to beef up on this baseball knowledge.
Yeah, maybe Jordy. We'll get
Jordy.
people on there. Maybe Jay Mitch can help
Yes.
direct that. And Ronaldo and those guys. I'll surround the squad with baseball
Yeah.
knowledge. Don't
Perfect.
you worry about
Perfect.
that. Again, you've listened to Mik'd Up. Appreciate you for tuning in. Brought to you by Sterling Automotive. We will see you on Wednesday. Peace.